can't wait. I can't wait to be out of it. So soon. Not enough whiskey in this cave to get me from here to there.
Wow, that's saying something right there.
So, happy Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
So
a little behind schedule.
we normally record on Tuesday. I had a schedule.
Yeah, got family things to do.
Shit happens, So we it's Wednesday, but
Happy Wednesday.
happy Wednesday. I don't know what day it is when you're watching by the time we get it out there, but today, here, right now, this moment, happy Wednesday.
Today is my brother Kyle's birthday. He's 45 today. Happy birthday, Kyle. He's a big fan.
Yeah.
Says we need to produce this stuff faster.
Yeah, I know. Editing's a lot of work. Everybody thinks social media and influencers and whatnot. Like, there's no work involved. There's a shit ton of work involved. All right, it's been a small wake up call.
Yeah,
but I got you, Kyle. I got you. All right, we're working on improvements. All right, but we do take criticism well. At least I don't know if Derrick does. I don't. Yeah, but maybe we can improve on that too. So, but I'm Tom.
I'm Derrick.
Derrick, welcome to the Whiskey Cave. Anything new exciting going on in your world?
Not new exciting, but I've had this little issue with my eye.
Can you see this better?
No, yeah, it's pretty big. It's not a problem. But the swelling of my retina is starting to go down, so make it a little easier to see. If you look at this eye, that
I can see
seriously dilated.
Yeah.
So I had the eye doctor's appointment today.
I'm gonna make you read all the fine print today.
I can't read that without my glasses. Either way, but at least it's starting to get better. Maybe to Florida in a couple weeks with my mom.
Nice. Just kind of time for a little weather shift.
Hopefully it'll be better, but it's still pretty hot down there, I think.
Yeah. So, nothing overly unordinary in my world. Still crazy and hectic as usual. Did get a phone call from the body shop on the car.
Yeah?
For those who've been following on, I got rear-ended a couple of weeks ago, and it's been quite a process. So it's, again, not the end of the world. Nobody was hurt. It wasn't a major accident. But
just annoying.
Yeah, exactly. A little more than $13,000 for some bumper
for
damage.
a car you had like 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I got the teaser call this morning, and that voicemail sounded so great. It started off so good. Hey, Mr. Booth, just call to let you know that the car is out of the paint shop. We're just waiting on the headrest, and that has to come from Germany.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm probably 2 weeks out still to this day.
Just to deliver the
freaking headrest. Yeah.
What happened to the headrest?
I didn't even notice it until we went to the body shop and did a walk around. I mean, clearly I was rear-ended, so the bumper, the trunk looked okay. I didn't overly examine it, but I mean, obviously on that car you got a lot of sensors in the bumper,
sure.
And you don't necessarily know what's underneath. I was actually a little concerned that the accident pushed the exhaust forward a little bit. It appears that didn't happen. But I mean, it's a German car, so I mean, a little bit of damage is still a lot of money.
Sure.
And I didn't even realize. So I go to the body shop, we do the walk around, and he opens up the door, and the headrest, which is a good size headrest, but the front portion was popped up forward, and I never even noticed it while I was driving. Now I only drove it from the scene to the house. They towed it from there to the body shop, so I never really got back in the car so much. I just got out of it. So yeah, that's
it's getting there though.
It's not some exotic part or anything like this. Just a headrest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is what it is. What the hell are you gonna do? All right. Let me tell you about the great rental they provided me though. And no knock on anybody that's driving this car. You're used to certain things, and even there's a few cars in this driveway. And you just get used to certain things over time, from automatic wipers to automatic, headlights. I mean, even your general basic economy cars have a lot of these features nowadays. Mm-hmm. So you're used to not having to deal with your high beams. You're used to the wipers just turning on by themselves. Yeah, this car doesn't even have automatic climate control. Like, I have to adjust the thermostat. Yeah, and I'm driving down the highway and the guy's flashing his lights out. I'm sorry, guys, sorry. I didn't realize my beams were still on. I'm not used to doing this shit. I can't figure out the wipers, a little bit of rain. Is it too fast, too slow? I don't know how to shut them off. It's just Can't wait. I can't wait to be out of it. So soon. Not enough whiskey in this cave to get me from here to there.
Wow, that's saying something right there.
Speaking of the cave,
You got some new whiskey?
I got a couple of new things.
Yeah.
This here, and I only got this, not that I'm really intrigued, but because we did the Woodford malt.
Yep. I'm intrigued.
I was like, oh shit, let's see how the Canadians do it.
That being said, most of the even like more premium stuff we've tried isn't fantastic.
So, Crown Royal.
Yeah.
Barley Edition, a blend distilled from unmalted and malted barley grains. So no mention of corn or rye or anything like that. So at first glance, it does just malted versus unmalted.
Yep. Or it's both, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, blend of both. Classic Crown Royal bag. So I don't know. Because we tried that, I figured what the hell.
I'm interested.
We'll give this a go at some point. I'm going to be honest, my expectations aren't all that high, but I'll try anything. And not that far removed from this one here, but we're coming into Halloween, coming into October, and the guy's got a skull and he's smoking a pipe. And sometimes a bottle just speaks to you, right? So this is Iron Smoke. I'll hold that up real quick. Obviously, I've never seen it before. Artesian crafted small batch. Fancy word, small batch. And limited edition. Play on words here. Casket strength. And obviously, you got a guy with a skull smoking a pipe. We're going to assume that's pipe tobacco.
Sure. So basically Halloween theme.
Halloween theme, And Iron Smoke. So I'm assuming it's straight bourbon. So what are we doing to smoke? It's made with apple wood smoked wheat. So there you go.
Intriguing.
Well,
is it 100% wheat?
No, straight bourbon whiskey. Right. So we know it's at least 51% corn.
Yeah, but got some wheat in there.
Barrel aged minimum of 2 years in new American white oak triple charred barrels. So the triple char is up a little bit.
Snark.
But made with apple wood smoked wheat. So obviously there's a percentage of wheat in here. Mm-hmm. We just don't know what. So I don't know. Like I said, the skull smoking a pipe. Just sometimes they speak to you. So that's what's new to the cave, at least for the moment. But we're gonna do what we've been talking about. We've been talking about a little bit. So the Glenfiddich line. So it's a staple in Scotch. It's been around
it's award winning. It's got tons of awards. It's a good entry level Scotch.
So I didn't go buy, for this purpose, I'll be honest, I did not go buy a fresh bottle of Glenfiddich 12. That's
we got one.
But I got one. Yeah. And it is 3/4 full.
Slightly used,
yeah. But generally everybody's seen this bottle behind a bar somewhere. It's a age 12 year Glenfiddich. And you know what Glenfiddich stands for, right?
I do. Valley of the Deer.
Valley of the Deer. Yeah.
Do you know why the bottle's a triangle?
I do not.
I looked this up today. It's to signify the blend of barley, water, and yeast.
Okay.
Used to make it.
Interesting.
I find Glenfiddich a little dry. Typically.
I agree. I find it nutty. I find it dry. I'll be honest, I'm not that big of a fan. Although I actually think their 12 year is probably their best. Some of their experimentals they did a few years ago, really good. We had that one with Canadian grapes, the ice wine.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was phenomenal bottle. But I mean, that was a limited release, $200 bottle. It better down road, be good. But that was really, really, really good. I remember having that. They did a peated version, and I actually do have one of those bottles here, unopened. And I remember trying it, but I remember trying it when I wasn't quite into peat yet. So.
And their entry level bottle is only 40% alcohol.
Oh, it's not 43.
No, it's a little light compared to most Scotches.
Cheap bastards.
The other two we're gonna try are at 43.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So this is a very popular or a common Scotch. It's wedding bars, most bars.
Yeah. Readily available, very popular, light and fruity. I find it a little dry.
Did we do one of these in our early videos?
Yes.
I don't know. We did a bunch. Not everything made the airwaves. So I don't know if that was part of that.
I think it did because that's the one that I screwed up. That's the one that I called Glenlivet, but we were drinking Glenfiddich.
Yes.
Or vice versa. I can't keep them straight.
Yeah. We'll blame it on the eyesight then. All right, we're working on it.
No, those two things just flip back and forth. When you asked me to do the research on this, I did the research on the Glenlivet first. So,
So ironically, though, they are two of the Speyside Highland staples in that market.
And much like the Doublewood, this is a blend. It's some of it's aged in bourbon barrels, some of it's aged in sherry.
So that's why we're doing this, right? Yeah. So, but we don't necessarily know how much, correct?
They never tell you the ratio.
Course. Bright and balanced, single malt, matured for 12 years in Oloroso sherry and bourbon casks before mellowing in oak marrying tons. So they're aging it in sherry, they're aging it in bourbon, and bringing it together.
Mm-hmm. That's my understanding.
That's my understanding. Yep. Let's give it a go. I'll try not to overpour. I don't need to be,
got a couple.
Getting a reputation around here.
Well deserved.
Good problem.
Well earned.
Well earned. So I recall this one being actually the better of the Glenfiddichs. I think the older ones tend to be a little more dry. The 14-year, I think, is done in an American oak. And that one can really be dry. The 15 is a Solera, if I'm pronouncing that right. So that's when they never dump it. They add it, they take. They add it, they take. And I really wasn't a fan of that one either. The 18 I recall being super dry, and definitely overvalued or overpriced.
I think that it's reasonably priced. Even the 18 from an 18 is reasonable.
From an 18,
it's just not that good. Light, floral.
Yeah. I don't get too much dryness on the nose.
No.
Starts off pretty wet, and it does have a drying edge at the end.
A little vanilla.
Little vanilla.
And it's got a little sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Maybe like honey.
But it does. It just tends to dry out at the very end, right down the center of the tongue. And again, from my recollection, it's not as bad as the older statements. And that's actually why I prefer their 12-year, this bottle, their budget bottle.
Yeah.
Over their other stuff. So
it's light, it's clean, it's easy drinking. A little dry.
So we believe, so this is, again, bourbon and sherry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we believe now we have the expressions on their own.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, from what they're willing to put out there, this is my understanding.
Okay. I understood it the same way. So this is the 12-year sherry. So this is half of what's in here.
Yep.
And this is the other half. This is 12-year American oak.
Yep. And it's supposed to be first fill, so the very first time they put Scotch in a bourbon barrel.
First time to put Scotch in a bourbon barrel, or first time they put whiskey in a barrel?
Well, they take the bourbon barrel that they buy only had bourbon in it.
Well, it just says American oak. It doesn't say bourbon barrel. So that's why I asked.
On the website, it says it's first fill.
I mean, as with all of this, the words and phrases can be so twisted. So what do you want to try first? Probably the American oak?
I think from this is probably going to have the most flavor, so.
I would think so, yeah.
I expect you'll get more vanilla, a little more sweetness, a little less fruit.
So yeah, I totally agree. So less fruit, more vanilla.
Yep. This will be intriguing because the Bellini first fill is one of my absolute favorites.
It is.
This is probably not going to.
They don't have high expectations.
No, this probably. Well, I mean that's one of my favorites.
So we've never had this, right? I've never had
it. Okay. I don't think I've had either of these.
Can you? I feel like I'm smelling that vanilla from here. This, I think, is fairly new to New Hampshire. Or at least I haven't seen it, and I'm
not a brand that I peruse too heavily when I'm looking for new things to find.
Our Kosher American Oak 12-year-old has been born out of the world's most iconic single malt, matured in new American oak casks for at least 12 years, subtle sweetness and gentle spice.
And that's the part that's misleading, because when they say new American oak, it's still mean bourbon.
Right.
For the most part, all the Scotch is using secondhand barrels in their process.
Independent family run since 1887.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around a long time.
That's actually impressive that they haven't been bought out by some big dude. All right, let's give it a go. Oh. Sugar, vanilla, frosted cookie.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, that like frosting. A little sharper nose.
No, I'm not really getting that. I probably indiffer on that. I like this nose. It's got an Irish tendency to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
It's easy.
It's easy. A little hint of sweetness.
Yeah. It's a little banana.
Yes, or yeah, something like that. Sight unseen.
You notch the proof up a little bit on this. This could be really good.
So this is not as dry. Much more wetness on the finish. And if I was like blind, I might get this confused for an Irish.
If I was blind, I would have gone Irish. I would have said this was an Irish. The nose alone would have stuck with me, and would have been real hard to get me off of that.
I will say that there's not a lot of flavor to it.
No, there's not. It's subtle. It's easy. Extremely approachable.
Yeah, it's not a bad flavor. It just has low tones.
I wouldn't say it has no character. It's got character. You almost just wish that character rose up a little bit more. That's why I said if it was a little proofier. Add 10 more proof points to this thing. And I think everything...
Concentrate it.
Yeah, everything just comes, full power.
Maybe a little bitter.
Really? I haven't gotten that yet.
And the word I really want to use was like sour. It's not really sour either.
And then I intend to get more banana now, though.
And then after, 30 seconds, a minute, my tongue is now dry again, though.
I haven't crossed that bridge yet, but I do know that experience. Your first couple of sips are one thing, and 2 sips down the road, it changes. I think it's light. I think it's very approachable.
I don't think anyone would complain if they had this. I mean, it's perfectly drinkable.
Yeah.
Very easy drinking.
Yeah.
It's mellow.
Let's give it a comp. Put this over here. Get a couple of glasses. Tidy up a tad. So now this one's the sherry.
My guess is this from a sherry is still going to be light.
So, I think, to me, you have, I think like the 3 kind of in the same line, same price range, would be the Glenfiddich, we mentioned the Glenlivet, and then the Glenmorangie.
Mm-hmm.
And that 12 Yellow Santa, that's sherry, that's a rich bottle. For its price point, for its age statement, I'd be shocked if that even comes close to this.
No, that's what I'm getting at. I don't expect. I think that part of their process, or what just what they're looking to do, is to make a kind of a light, easy drinking flavor profile, and so this will still be there.
From a marketing perspective, I think this is a great strategy. Right? Costs of everything have gone up across the board. We're already producing this whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just offer another offering in a similar price point?
Yeah.
So we have more availability to people who want to try them.
It's all in the barrels. It's just how you bottle it.
Right.
You're not really doing anything different.
So
it's darker.
This should be your favorite one.
It should be.
So, I haven't seen them mature 12 years in European sherry. Not a whole lot to go off of that.
But what we don't know is, okay, there's different sherries. Even if they all come from the same region, there's going to be different manufacturers that have different qualities.
Correct.
And we don't know what those choices are that go in to making this. And that
No,
may be a huge
and a lot of times it's region dependent. It's sherry, but now because it's from this part of the river or this side of the river, we're calling it a different kind of sherry.
But even in that region, there could be 10 manufacturers.
Correct.
And they might all have a slightly different methodology.
Yeah. Out of the three, this has the most Scotch-like nose.
Yeah, it's still light.
It is light. But it just a little bit more of that. I don't want to over-exaggerate because it's not just that little earthy tone, or whether it's a little slightly dank or slightly dusty.
But if we were to pull like a Tandu or what was I thinking? I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, Tandu, right, which is also very sherry, or a Macallan. You're not going to get that's going to blow this away from a.
No, well, yeah, I haven't even had this, and I can tell you.
I mean, from a nose
richer,
standpoint.
yeah, yes. Well, not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah,
It's also still very subtle.
yeah.
It is more put together though, I think, and I like the finish is a little more mellow. It's got a little more viscosity to it.
I think this is the driest of the bunch.
It is, and that might have something to do with the European wood.
Sure. Yeah. I think this is going to be my example of the more I drink of this, the more I want to get off of it.
Where you're not going to want any more.
Yeah. Drying me out.
Yep.
I'm going to bring my other friends in here real quick.
So if someone was to go to the bar and they ordered a Glenfiddich 12,
Yeah.
and the bartender grabbed the original,
Yeah.
and then they grabbed either of the other two, and they grabbed either of the other two again, I'm not sure most people would notice the difference.
I would hope they would. I think they're... You bring up a good point into the sense that there's a fair amount of people that are going to a bar and just saying, I'll take that, So it's more of a decision off the availability and budget, selection, and what am I willing to spend while I'm here today. And I think especially in Scotch, I think you bourbon drinkers, there's an expectation that your maker's mark is everywhere. Your knob is everywhere. Your Woodford is everywhere. For Scotch drinkers, we walk up to a lot of bars going,
Yeah, I'll wait till I get home.
Yeah. And we end up ordering, some of the entry-level Scotch offerings. So
I end up ordering a cocktail.
yeah, so I don't like the sugar-added cocktails. So, we even talk margaritas. Like, we're gonna make a margarita, which is booze, and a little bit of lime. None of that sour mix.
That's how my martini's made too.
That's fair. That's fair. Can I get a bunch of alcohol and an olive, please? Thank you, bartender. But I do think these. I mean, they're different. They are different. They're all subtle. They're all easy. They're
if
all
they ordered
approachable.
one and then they had like 20 minutes off and they got the different one 20 minutes later, I'm not certain they'd notice.
I mean, the common Joe wouldn't. But I can't get banana off my nose on this one.
If I had the original and then I had the sherry, I'm not certain I would know the difference. And same with if I had the original and if I had the American oak, I wouldn't have notice the difference. Going from the American to the sherry, okay, they have a more substantial delta between the two. I would probably say I like the sherry the best.
Nope, not for me. And I'm a little surprised, but this was my selection right here. I like the nose on this one better. I like it all better.
Yeah, I like the sherry better, especially after having them in like one sip right after the other. The sherry's more mellow, not mellow, but more like it's got more rounded edges to it.
So let's see if we can do a rapid score on both of them, because we can't pick a favorite because you like this one and I like that one. So
all right,
we'll put the boxing gloves on. And see if we can give this a little rapid score.
it's okay to disagree. We don't have to fight about
That's the
it.
original. That's true. That's why there's whiskey for all taste buds, right? Starting with the one we had first.
Yep.
I guess I'll go first. I'm the one that liked it more. I do wish it had a little bit more character. I liked what was there. I just wish it was volume up a little bit. That being said, this is just kind of like a straight 8 across the board for me. I like all parts. It does flow well.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely pour another one. It actually might be one of my preferred Glenfiddichs, just like that. So
That's a low bar, though.
it is, but again, an 8, so a solid 8.
No, like I was giving it a solid 8.
Okay.
And I don't think there's enough distinction between nose, palate, and finish to even worry about it.
No, and which is also a compliment, though. You talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
You don't want the nose or the palate to veer too far left or right from what you started with in the nose. All 3 of these bottles stayed in their lane,
Yep.
in their proper lane, all the way through. So one score is likely to match the other.
Especially for this one.
So I'll go a solid 8 on the American oak.
Me too.
Okay. On the sherry, I know 7.9. Then I'm gonna dip it to about a 7. It dried out the more I drank it.
I just thought it had the best finish. So I'll give it an 8.1.
Okay.
But it's not significantly better.
Yeah.
But of the 3 of them.
From a value perspective, from a cost of these bottles, you're getting good whiskey for the money.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't bought Glenfiddich in ages, but what's a regular?
I think it's $50.
$50. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's very
I know.
reasonable. Very,
Yeah.
Are these significantly different?
No, and I'll be honest, I don't really know exactly what I paid for them, but if they're not $50, they're $60.
And I will say for $50, it's pretty good.
It is,
Right?
yeah.
We're also throwing out things for $100 bottle comparisons.
Sure.
Right? So,
Yeah. Well, that's a good analogy because
it's a good value.
You just basically gave these bottles an 8, and to some degree we're also stacking them against 8.5s,
Sure.
8.8s, and things of that nature.
Sure.
But that's why I like to bring up the value perspective, the dollar perspective, because not everybody's on a different budget.
if you're on a limited budget, you want to bring a bottle that people appreciate to an event, but you don't got a lot of money, this is a perfect bottle.
And I will say this, Scotch was, and it still is, but always more than bourbon. But bourbon has really gone up.
Yeah.
There was a time it was like, oh, that's a cheap Scotch. It's only $50. Bourbon drinkers like, well, that's a pricey bourbon.
Yeah.
Right? But now you really can't say that. A lot of these bourbons have really creeped up to that $50 mark and more.
Yeah.
So, now their budget bourbons have just almost doubled in cost.
I wonder why.
That's a great question. And, you can blame it on a lot of different things, and it's probably a lot of different things, whether you get into, inflation, labor rates, or things of that nature. But let's not include the hype.
Sure.
Right? The craze. We're on a down tilt, but the bourbon craze really, really spiked. So, if you own a business, I own a business. If things are spiking,
Well, and also, if your competitors raising the prices, you can raise your prices a little bit. Right? You want to be cheaper, but you don't want to be so much cheaper necessarily.
I do believe if you really want to break it down, there's a lot of reasons in the pie chart on why the cost of whiskey in general have gone up.
And I'm sure there's still bourbons you can get that are good at $40.
But the greatest example I have is we were drinking the shit out of Booker's at $52, $54.
Yeah, now it's $100.
And then it went to $100. I mean, it went to like 84, and then it went to 100. You know, boom, boom, just like that within like a year. And it was like this.
And then you couldn't find it for a while.
And that's what's messed up. At $54, it was everywhere. At 100, it was nowhere.
That's definitely a top 5 bourbon for me.
Oh, totally. I always have a place for Booker's.
Yep.
It's just hard to justify that.
Sure.
That $100 all the time now, you know. So, but yeah, over the past years we've seen them all creep up a little bit.
You got a plan for next week?
I do not have a plan for next week. We have to work on that. We're gonna figure that out. Yeah, we're winging it. I don't know who's on the production schedule, but you know, I got a lot going on myself. What is it? Not this weekend, but following weekend, got a big cigar event.
Oh,
what are we doing?
Cool.
My Father Cigars coming up to the cigar bar, so that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of coordinating and planning and getting all.
Any progress on the shed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when we're done, I'll walk you out there. Yeah. So yeah, building a shed. And we talked about that.
I get tired just listening to the list of projects he's got.
Yeah. I do sleep sometimes, but it's amazing. Even when I sleep, you know, this brain's spinning. I know yours is.
That's
too,
why I can't sleep half the time.
You know, 2 in the morning, like I got a great idea. So this was a fun experiment. This was cool. We'll figure out what we're gonna do next week. Obviously, chime in, give him some shit, give me some shit.
If there's someone out there that's a whiskey fan, please share this content with them so that they can maybe give us some feedback. Maybe they'll find something they like. We'd love to get questions, comments.
Yeah, throw us.
Looking for some advice. We'd love to give advice.
Give us a recommendation on what to.
Even better. Yeah.
What to try. I'll go out and source a bottle if it's available. So I travel well, locally anyway.
I'll be in Florida in 2 weeks, so hopefully I'll find something interesting to bring home with me.
What can Derrick bring home from Florida? That's your task right there.
What's it total wide in Florida?
Yes. So get on that Google. All right. Throw him something. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. Get something nice.
I'm retired, right? I'm on a budget.
Yeah.
I'm on a fixed income.
Oh my God. All right. Well, before I get all teary-eyed, I'm Tom.
I'm Derrick.
That's Derrick. Thanks for joining us at Whiskey Cave. We're out.
Have a good week. Very well. There might be lots of bits in that.
I took lots of bits out. Okay. I did. I opened this thing and I'm like, Jesus, there's bits everywhere. I mean, like, I think he had his dog. I don't even know if he has a dog, but I think he let his dog take the bubble wrap and just destroy it first. And then he stuffed the box. So, and then he wrote Bajilli on the side to make sure.
I wonder if anyone thinks that.
So, do you know what he sent us?
No. Nice. Be surprised.
Yeah, you're going to like it.
I'm sure.